part 2, I guess. We have an image to give on this earth, you know? And this image is dedicated to providing evidence that Yah is real. That was the whole entire purpose of this. And his kingdom on earth should resemble the kingdom in heaven, and we should not accept any imitations. For those of you who believe in the Gospels and believe in the letters of Paul,
you have reached your destination on the left-hand side.
You also know that part of that is exactly what happened in Corinth, and why he said, expel the immoral brother, kick them out, don't deal with that mess no more, or leave. Them dudes can't keep that building if you leave. But you gotta know what you're leaving to do. You gotta be able to respond in the light of the kingdom, man, where Father is directing your paths. If the Father's directing your paths, then you already know you're supposed to be reading every single day. You already know that you're supposed to be praying every single day. You know you're supposed to be asking for direction every single day. So if Yah is directing your path, these things are pretty much known. But what are we doing as individuals? Do we go out and talk to anybody? Do we meet needs when we see needs need to be met? What makes us the image that the Father wants on this earth? You know, that's what I want to know. What makes us say righteously that we are the kingdom of heaven? Like, what evidence is there that we are the kingdom of heaven? Just saying we go to church and saying we pray and we believe is one thing. But being able to live that image and show that our image is true by the lifestyle of our children, that's a true call. You know, and it's not indoctrination, and it's done right. Your child should know, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Your child should be able to speak clearly and properly. Your child should be able to do the things necessary when they're in front of people that they're not related to. There's a conduct that your child must keep, whether you believe in the word or not. However, child conduct is based on influence around them. So when you're talking about Adam Lanza again, what does it mean from the scope of spirituality, which honestly spirituality involves human services, it involves education, it involves nutrition, and it involves outreach. You know, how does a believer who claims that they believe not meet the needs of their brother and sister? And how is it that we've gone and survived for so long claiming that we're in truth, claiming that we know something, and the reality is that we're not doing what we said that we were going to do? How does this happen? How does this happen that we could spend so much money on buildings and have so many without in ministry? These people have children, you know. You done brought them in, and they're giving you money fervently every single week or every single month, or even if it's just once or twice a year, they're giving you the least that they have, so that the best that they have, so that you can flourish. What are you doing to deal with their minds as leaders? You know, like, why should anybody accept you directing their paths when the overall scope of things and situations is that thus far you have showed nothing to be able to prove that we are who we are? Have we flourished yet? Or are we still begging bread? Doesn't it say that the Father's children do not beg bread? What are we doing? Even right now, as I'm looking out on the road and looking down the street, I see a whole bunch of disorganization and poor planning and just out of whack. And it's easy to say I'm judging, and I am. Let's be clear about that. I'm judging based on the truth. I'm trying to hold you accountable to what's written. Like, who does that? Who claims to believe in something and doesn't make an affirmation or a statement on the basis of what they see because of what they read? Why are you making the same excuses the world makes when the fact of the matter is you claim to be in the truth? Why? Why? You feel good about yourself that you're doing that? It's a shame that we can't trust each other with our lives, because that's what happens. People are talking about Black Lives Matter. We stand for solidarity of black people and all this other stuff. Do Black lives matter to black people? And if they do, then why is it that you are erecting Jay-Z and Kanye West and all these other rappers as gods among us, giving them millions, and your streets ain't fixed? Your education system is crap, and the services needed to be provided for your people ain't there. They got their money, and they're going to keep getting their money because you're going to be dumb enough to give it to them. In the meantime, they formulate in your mind and the opinion of your children. I keep saying this all the time. At one point in time, homosexuality was not permitted. Through the media and entertainment and the radio stations, over everything overall, magazines, articles, and stuff like that, they've been formulating your minds, formulating your child's mind. And now it's become so successful and accepted that it's going to keep burning up, keep bursting. But you have a problem with this because of the way you were trained and taught, and that's great and all, but what are you doing as an individual to change that? Rioting? Marching? Complaining, going back and forth with your friends at the water cooler? Voting, yeah. Matter of fact, let me give you this before I go. If you're not willing to lobby and you're not willing to put money down to make change, then you ain't got nothing to blame for yourself when these kids go to jail, when their kids are killed, and when you become old and nobody can help take care of you. It's your fault.